Hey, this is David, Richter Scale Studios. Been doing a bunch of videos, but not wanting to put them up. Just like a lot of rambling stuff, trying to get the CR-10 to put out some good PLA prints, and I got it dialed in. My culprit was, I think I got a bad batch of this. I don't want to go after the manufacturer because it's a really high quality PTFE tubing, but I think it was screwing up my retractions and causing so much under extrusion, it was insane. So I went back in one of my parts box and found this backup old school PTFE tubing, and everything's dialed in now. I have the Micro Swiss all metal Hotend working right now with the FANG. This is a new thing I'll put up on Thingiverse. I don't know who has this version of the FANG. I'll put links below for it. And I designed this from scratch because I was doing some remixes and stuff from other FANGs. So this wire restraint relief is my own little design. Very down and dirty, but it works. Very easy to throw on there with some zip ties. I made it really latch onto the wire itself so that doesn't move around. And I mentioned it in the video. If someone talked about this, don't let the PTFE tubing be tied to anything else because you don't want any other tensions on it. And that's helping tremendously too. I am printing this is the Armoured Shuttle from Imperial Terrain. This is the tailgate part. I was just doing a test print and we're getting great results. And one of my new favorite filament colors, I'm always finding great filament colors that I like. I obviously print a lot of terrain and wargaming centric prints. Now I do other stuff too. But when I do stuff for wargaming, I want something that you could throw on the table that wouldn't look too off, like something neon green or orange or yellow or bright blue. This is by Paramount. The label's on the other side of this. This is Paramount Pantone Primordial Earth. So it's a great brownish, a little bit of gray into it. I love that color. And it's a nice PLA that prints perfectly at 210 and 60. So I'm happy with this. So this is a little update I'm doing on that. I might have just had some bad tubing with that, and this is working great, so I don't want to mess with it. And like I said, I'll put some links below. I'll put an affiliate link to this Paramount filament. I got some other colors. I got a khaki, and they have a bunch of different grays and everything. If you notice, I use a lot of Maker Geek. I use the silver, which is a good gray, and urban fossil. I can show you when I'm printing on that. I'm printing other parts for this also. Let me just make this like a studio update. The Prusa, I'm just screwing around with some ABS printing. I'm redoing this cover in orange. Then I'm going to go back and do this in black just for fun. And here is the ANYCUBIC i3 Mega. This thing, like I said, is just like a monster printer. It just prints everything you put on it. And this is other portions of that shuttle. This is going to be the front end, aileron, and a bunch of little accessories that are being printed out. Can't really get into that. That's one thing, one complaint I had about this printer is this big boxy print head. You can't see anything that you're doing, but that's okay. And that is it. So I will see you guys in the next video. The other videos were just rambling and going back and forth. This is going to end up rambling too. Because I was doing what I was really getting frustrated. I was getting great ABS prints out of the CLA. And then the ABS. I wasn't really coming from that. And this is from Sylogy on Thingiverse. I'll put that model up there too. This is like a turbo laser tower, the XX9. And this under extrusion was insane. And then all this. So that was just putting me on a quest to fix this thing and tearing it apart, and thought temperatures were wrong. And because I mean, these things put out great prints usually, and I was having great prints, so I started modding it, and it had to be that tubing. And I noticed it's got really, really tight tolerances on it, and when you're putting all kinds of different PLA through it, some of these PLAs aren't all that perfectly made. And I was even doing Chris Elkins. I think this is an Elkins print. It got this weird, every time I did it, either through Octoprint or something like that, but I was getting good prints again. And the overhang test, there's another one. This is pre fixing the Bowden tubing, and it was just, I mean, it's clogged, it stopped. And this totally under extrusion, everything was falling apart. And this is after the new Bowden tubing. This, I recommend, I'll put a link to this also. I'm so full of coffee right now and jittery from it. It's in the morning. And I was just impressed with this. It still needs to get dialed in on these dowels. For the lighting here, it kind of sucks. But everything else worked good. And this held up, I'd say, right after 60, probably 65%. And it started losing the cooling ability. And that FANG is working out for me too. I might try the old FANG I had also. Let me see if I have that somewhere. This is my workbench in my studio, and I have all kinds of different FANG. Oh, this is the pet FANG, and that thing just blows. That might help with overhangs. What's another thing I've been doing? Oh, making modular. I'm trying to make this printer as modular as possible. Like I said, I have the Micro Swiss all metal hot end in there. I'm waiting for another factory heater block, so I'm going to put a soft filament together also. So I also took this is a aftermarket like stock CR-10 and CR-10 hot end, and modular with these M3 plugs. I get these off of eBay. I think I'll put a link to that too. And then I make my own. These are like they're all some form of JST. These are JSTs. This is like some kind of battery clip. Look that up what I have on there, so I can switch everything out real quickly. This holds on with these M3s, and I don't even have them nutted on, nut on the back. They just pop out real quick because there's no vibration to this or play. There's no, it's not going to move at all. So I just take an Allen wrench and just kind of ease them out real quick. And what I'm doing with that, so I'll have an all metal hot end with the stainless steel tips. I have throw some regular PLA in there. This is gonna TH3D. I ordered a 6mm or a 0.6mm tip for this. I'm gonna change that out just for like big fast prints. And then I will have the soft filament Swiss Micro ready to go also. So these are just really quick switch outs, and it's working great for me. And look, we have a finished print. So let's see how this turned out on top. That's nice. Not perfect. I mean, it's CR-10. It's not my Prusa, but no under extrusions. I am so stoked on that. So I rambled a little bit on this for 8 minutes. I'm gonna let you go, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.